it's March 4th, and me and Ben decided to come out to this new piece of public land. It's about 15 or 20 minutes from home, and we've never been here before. Basically, I have 3 goals today. We're going to, number 1, look for human pressure, whether it be people hiking around here in these big fields, waterfowl, or even deer hunting pressure. We're going to try to get on this, there's a big water channel that comes out into the lake here, and on one side there's road access, and on the other side there's basically no access from public land except for if you're coming from the north or if you're hiking way from the south. So we're going to come in here, look for human pressure, and we're going to try to pin down some bedding areas that we can hunt in October and obviously during the rut. And since we can't access easily from the road or anywhere, we're in the kayaks today trying to figure out easy access from the water. It wasn't too bad of a kayak across, and we're going to try to get through some of this ice on the lake right now, but it obviously should be easier in the early fall. We can get in here on the kayaks. It should be a fun day, and we're going to hopefully find some pretty cool stuff on this new area.
We've been scouting for about an hour now since we got off the kayaks, and basically there's an edge of a field that we followed, and there's some like brushier stuff between the lake and the field. We kind of followed that up. We came into this big thicket here, and to the north is more fields. That's where the public access is. Back that way there's public access across another creek channel, and then back this way is where the lake is. So we're still kind of just working our way around the northeast side of the lake. This thicket Keith just went through. He found a bunch of heavy trails. There's definitely some deer bedding in there. I was coming up the edge of this transition line between the thick stuff and open woods. I still see a lot of tracks and some heavy trails heading towards a point. When we were back there earlier, we saw the point from across the creek or from across the lake channel. It looks super thick. There's willows and a bunch of red brush, and we're gonna head back towards that point now. I'm sure we're gonna find more bedding back there. That's the most secluded spot on this piece of public. As of now, we're probably half a mile to 3/4 of a mile from either of the 2 parking spots, and then like 1.5 miles from where we parked the truck across the lake. So we're back there far enough now. I think we're gonna start finding some more sweet stuff.
We worked around this point, to this point that we could see from the other side of the channel. Our goal was to get over here and try to find a bedding area in general. And along the way, every tree is just shredded. And we finally pinned down to where we're expecting most of the bucks in here are going to be bedded. It's more of an area. We found maybe 1 or 2 specific beds, but now that we know kind of where they are, we're going to start looking for trees around here that we could hunt out of that provide enough cover, but also give us easy access and not too impactful on where these deer are going to be bedded. They give us easy way in and out, coming out of the water, and just an easy area to hunt when we come in here in the fall. So we're going to work around this point. This channel behind me comes down here, and the lake comes together on like a separate channel right here. And it comes down to a point down there. We found a few beds along here. And like I said, there's a ton of rubs here, so we're gonna look for more trees. There's a bunch of willows and stuff around here, but a lot of them are open, so we're gonna try to find maybe 1 or 2 trees that we can get in that would be easy to hunt this fall.
What about that couple of cottonwoods over there? How are you then?
These are a little crooked, but something around here though. There's plenty of options. There's even some over there.
That's right on that fence row edge. There was a really heavy trail there. I lined that up with you earlier.
Yeah. Well, we walked for a while down to that point and just kind of checked that out, and we realized that it's actually pretty much connected to an island or just south of it. And it's an island that we've been looking at on the map and everything. It looks absolutely crazy, but we figured after we scout that, we might find a opportunity to hunt down there as a better funnel, because if the deer are bedded on that island, it's easy to hunt there. But for now, we found kind of a clump of trees right here. We're able to blow a northwest wind over this channel right here, pretty much back where we're going to be accessing from. We'll put the kayaks over there on the shoreline, probably 70 or 80 yards away, and just come in right here. Easy access, low impact. Any of these deer coming back from food, coming down to bed on this point, we're still probably 150 plus yards away from the end of that point. And then if they're even going farther back to bed on that island, they're gonna have to pass through us here. And me and Ben were talking, and if we set up in one of these spots and we find out that they're moving farther east along the other channel, it'll be easy to move, find a different tree over there. There's plenty of options in here, but we just wanted to find a spot that we could look at right now, find a tree to get into, just as kind of a backup plan for when we're hunting here next fall. Well, we're wrapping up the day of scouting today. If we go back to our 3 goals, we got in pretty easily on the water access. We found that it's super easy to get from the parking on one side of the lake to the other side without blowing anything out of where we're expecting deer to be feeding and everything. And we got in, found pretty much little to no human pressure where we're planning on hunting. We found out where people are coming from on the north side, and they're mostly coming down to hunt these fields like this one behind me. There's a bunch of these big bean fields and a couple of them are cornfields. And there's just a ton of these fields that are up on the north side where they're coming in on the pull-offs, and they're just hunting kind of the thickets that are below them and stuff, but no one's hunting around the lake like we're planning on doing. We also found pretty much the exact areas that we were planning on would be the bedding areas. They ended up being prime bedding for where these deer are. There's a lot of thickets around it, and we were expecting there's other areas where deer are going to be bedded, but along the lake there we found a bunch of spots where we know there's going to be deer bedded that we can get in and put a stand in a few trees that we found. Get in there this fall, and hopefully we have some luck here. We're probably going to maybe come in here, put a camera in the summer, pretty much leave it alone from there, and hopefully get back here 1 or 2 times in the fall.